Alright. Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick channels. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow. We're gonna play, well, not play, well, technically it's a game, right? We're gonna continue learning Python off of Boot.Dev. And as you can see here, I increased the I zoomed in by 150%. I watched my own video yesterday and I noticed that it was kind of too small for some of y'all to be able to actually see the any of the text. So I increased it by 150%, and please let me know if you guys want it a little bit more blown out. Now let me switch scenes so you guys can see the whole screen. Hopefully that's better than before. Again, I increased it to 150% zoom, and hopefully that's good enough. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna. I was copyrighted on some songs because I played freaking some Pandora on my oldies radio, but I like listening to music in the background. If I get copyrighted and I can't monetize it, so be it. Whatever. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I care, but I'll care more once I actually reach the following. Once I actually become eligible for monetization, that's when I'll care. But for now, oldies. All right. One moment, you guys. Let me get my stream up on my phone too. I'll put like the all four on my tablet right here so I could see you guys' the comments and shit. And I'll put my own Twitch on my phone. And let's see, tap to watch. Alright. Alright, I'm good to go. Let me sip a little bit of soda. Alright. F strings in Python. Alright, let me just make sure my mic is turned on. Mic is on. Desktop audio. Let me put that down a little bit. Alright, there we go. Wait, can you guys see what I'm doing here? No, okay. F strings in Python. Have you ever played old school Pokemon and chosen a funny name so that the in-game message would come out funny? America's strength made it possible to move boulders around, so he named himself America's. Okay. Or America. Whatever. In Python, we can create strings that contain dynamic values with the F string syntax. num_bananas equals 10. Bananas equals fu. F. You have bananas, number of bananas, bananas. Print bananas. So if you print bananas, it equals you have whatever you set that to, 10 bananas. Yeah, you have 10 bananas. Add an F to the start of the quotes to create an F string. F in quotes, this is easy, exclamation point. Use curly brackets, alright, these around a variable to interpolate, alright, or put its value into the string. Remember, it's just a string and don't overthink it. Fixed assignment, fix the bug on line 7, so that we're looking at this. Use an F string to interject the dynamic values into the string. So replace the name. Okay, so we're replacing name with what? With the value of the name variable. Okay, so Jarl. Ew. Actually, we just have to type in name, right? I guess we just put name outside. name, and then let's see, name, quotes. Nope. There we go. And erase that, and erase that. Nope. That ain't gonna work. Alright, name. If we put it here, will it work? Name. Do not hard code the values into the string. For example, this is not the solution we're looking for, even though it happens to work in this case. So print Jarl is the dwarf who is 37 years old. So we need the player to see their values. Punctuation, capitalization matters. Make sure your input matches the expected output exactly. Alright, so the name variable. Alright, so I'm guessing in Python is it plus? Plus a string? Or F string, right? Because that's what the lesson is on. So F string and then shit, I erased it. I keep erasing it. There we go. F string. Nope. Do I put plus? Can I put plus? Will it work if I do that? Why do I keep doing that? Shift plus space and then quotes. Name plus is a race who is age years old. Is a okay. Am I overcomplicating it right here? Probably am. Who is blank years old? Who is, let's put the quotes here, and then delete this with, age. I'm probably doing it wrong. We'll find out. Age plus and then years old in quotes. Alright, so print name. Jarl is a race dwarf who is age 37 years old. I think that will work, but let's run it. So Python traceback most recent calls file execute line 16 in module. So no. It says don't edit the above this line. So nope. I have to F string it. Alright, so oh, I have to use the curly brackets. Okay. Follow the lesson. Okay, follow directions. Alright, so let me. Can I Alright, so let's just remove the quotes and then put curly brackets instead. Where is the curly brackets? Here. And then curly bracket. And then I'll put the quotation on the outside, right? Quote on the outside. Nope. So F string Put F and then quotes. Alright, and then let's space this out. Is a what am I doing here? Ah. Okay, so name is a race who is, and then delete this quote, and then age, and then put curly braces over around it, I mean. Ah. Come on, come on, come on. Is this the Sweet Caroline? Yeah, this Sweet Caroline. Ba ba da. Okay. Okay. Okay, F string the whole thing. Name is a race who is age years old. Okay, that's gonna work. Alright, Ural is the dwarf who is 37. There we go. Yeah, follow directions, you guys. Don't do what I just did. Alright. Next. Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you. Sweet Caroline. Okay, non-type variables. Not all variables have a value. We can make an empty variable by setting it to none. None is a special value in Python that represents the absence of a value. It is not the same as 0, false, or an empty string. My _ mental acuity equals none. The value of my mental acuity in this case is none until we use the assignment operator equals to give it a value. None is not a string. None type is not the same as a string with a value of none. So my _ none equals none. Comment this is a non-type. My _ none equals none. This is a string with the value none. Okay. Declare a variable named enemy and set it to none. Don't change the print function. Alright. So, I'm just gonna put quotes around none. No! That was wrong? Oh man. It says declare a variable named. Okay, so create the empty enemy variable here. Ah, I forgot. Enemy equals none. Shit, I forgot. Before submitting, read all the instructions and make sure you have everything done. Okay. Enemy equals. Okay. N-O-N-E. Should work now. There we go. False is with a literal. Did you mean equals equals? None is not a string. None type is not the same as a string with the value of none. Okay, so declare a variable named enemy and set it to none. Don't change the print function. Alright, so oops. And then run it. There we go. Alright, read the instructions again, okay? I'm messing up here. Alright, let's see. I got the notifications, right? Nope. Mark all as red. Okay. Done with that one, right? Ooh, quiz time. Okay. Non-type quiz, dynamic. Okay, there's up to 19 for chapter 2. Okay. Why might you use none, Valley? Let's pause this. Ooh, this is a good song too.
The none type in Python is weird, and discovering it in Python is probably really mind-bending in the same way that discovering the concept of zero would have been mind-bending to the ancient.
What's up? Yeah, eat your little tooth decay thing, or tooth decay. It's a snack that helps with his breath, I guess. I don't know. A biscuit. I don't know what it is.
Sumerians.
He
Let's
likes
start with
it.
an example. I'll create this variable age selection and set it equal to none, and that's none with a capital N. It's important to note this is not the same thing as the string none, which would be surrounded in double quotes. None is its own special keyword in Python. It's not just another string. For example, hello world is a string, 1 is an integer, false is a boolean, and none is actually of the type none type, which is its own special categorization. Strings and integers both have infinite possibilities of what they could be. There's an infinite number of strings that you could store in a string type or integers that you could store in an integer type. A boolean can only be true or false, but the none type can actually only contain the value none. So why is this even useful? Well, the idea of none is to communicate that there's nothing here, and not just the value 0, because sometimes 0 means something. Again, let's go back to our example of a variable called age selection. Let's say we have a form on our website where you can input an age. Well, inputting the age 0 would actually be a valid selection, so we can't use 0 to represent the state where the user has not yet selected an age. Again, because you could select 0. So one common use case with the none type is to sort of use it as a default value for a variable, and it indicates that, nothing is stored here yet, but there likely will be or can be in the future. Now, one common mistake I see with new Python developers is when they print a value, or I should say when they print a variable that stores the none value, it will actually print the string none to the console. And that's confusing because if you write a program that instead of printing a variable that stores the none type actually prints a string that just says none, the exact same thing is printed to the console, but they're not the same. Now, the easiest way to test is to actually wrap the variable in a type function. So you're actually printing the type of the thing. And in that case, you'd get a message saying, this is a none type or this is a string type. So if you ever get stuck or lost and you're not sure what you're looking at, be sure to use that in your print debugging.
Excuse me. Alright. As we mentioned in the last exercise, the none keyword is used to define an empty variable. So when you use it, one use case is to represent that value hasn't been determined yet. For example, an uncaptured input. Maybe your program is waiting for a user to enter their name. You might start with a variable username equals none. Then later in the code, once the user has entered their name, you can assign it to username variable. Username equals input, in parentheses, what is your name? Remember, it's crucial to recognize that none is not the same as the string none in quotes. They look the same when printed to the console, but they are different data types. If you use none in quotes instead of none without quotes, you will end up with code that looks correct when it's printed, but false but fails the test. Why might you use the none value? To create bugs, to cause additional pain and suffering because you need a string with the text none as a default value that will be replaced later. Yep. Got that right. I am now level 6 with 184 XP. Shop 5 gems. what are these gems and stuff for? Accept a quest. No active. Difficulty 3. Click for more info. Lesson difficulty. Lessons have a difficulty score of 1 to 10. 1 being the easiest and 10 being the hardest. Difficulty scores are calculated automatically and in real time based on how students are performing on the lesson. These factors are also taken into account: the average completion time, solution views, failed submissions, boots usage. Newer lessons may not have an accurate difficulty and are still calibrating. Alright, so it's set to what, 3 for me? So beginner level, whatever. Difficulty 3. 2-day streak, 1 day, 7 hours. Click for more info. Daily streaks is maintained by coding daily. It is a way to keep yourself accountable to your consistency goals. You need to complete a lesson or commit code to a linked GitHub repository every day to maintain your streak. You can sync your GitHub account and add repo webhooks in your settings to protect your streak. Streaks are calculated on a per calendar day basis. You need at least one activity each day in your time zone, which can be updated in your settings. For example, if you study on Tuesday at 5 p.m., but you don't on Wednesday, you would lose your streak on Wednesday at midnight. Embers and frozen flames automatically protect your streak from being lost. So that's what the embers are for. Right. Yep. Embers. Okay. Embers and frozen flames. Embers and frozen flames protect your streak from being lost. Embers. With an ember in your inventory, you are going to lose your streak on Wednesday at midnight. You lose the ember instead. Your streak will be safe for one more day until Thursday at midnight. And you need to study again the next day to keep it going. Gain an ember every 3,000 XP you earn in a calendar day, based on your time zone, which can be updated in your settings. You can have at most 2 embers at a time. If you haven't earned an ember yet, you can still protect your streak with a frozen flame. Frozen flames. With a frozen flame, your inventory, if you are going to lose your streak on Wednesday at midnight, you lose the frozen flame instead. Your streak will be safe for another 4 days until Sunday at midnight, and you need to study again on Sunday to keep it going. You can purchase frozen flames in the gem store for 12 gems or get them as loot from chests. Embers are always used up before frozen flames are used. Alright. Okay. Why might you use the none value? Okay, I got this one correct, right? Yep. Alright. What are these? The sprees. Sharpshooter, sprees, and armor. You earn a sharpshooter spree each time you complete 15 lessons in a row, without making any mistakes. Once you earn a spree, you will earn a random chest. Be one step closer to your next sharpshooter achievement. You will never lose your spree with run. Only a failed submit can break your spree. I did that once already. Your streak is protected if any of the following are true. Lesson has been completed. Armor has already been used in the lesson, or you have armor. Your streak is not protected if you do not have armor, and the lesson is incomplete. The run, submit, spree, and armor mechanics are designed to simulate a real-world programming job. You need to be careful when shipping a final version to end users, and you need to be careful when you submit your code. Run equals local development, submit equals shipping to end users. Alright. And last is armor is broken. Spree not protected. What are these? Spree, armor. These are the lessons. Chapter 2 variables. Lesson 12 dynamic typing. Alright. Dynamic typing. Python is dynamically typed, which means a variable can store any type, and that type can change. For example, If I make a number variable, I can later change that variable to a string. Speed equals 5, speed equals 5, but it's a string. But like, maybe don't. In almost all circumstances, it is a bad idea to change the type of a variable. The proper thing to do is just to create one. For example, speed equals 5, speed / description equals 5. Okay. What is non-dynamic typing? Languages that aren't dynamically typed are statically typed, such as Go and TypeScript, one of which you'll learn later in a later course depending on your chosen track. In a statically typed language, if you try to assign a value to a variable of the wrong type, an error would crash the program. If Python were statically typed, the first example from before wouldn't allow the second line, speed equals 5, in quotes. The computer would give an error along the lines of you can't assign a string value, in parentheses, quotations 5, to a number variable speed. Click to hide the video. Oh, there's a video.
Types are a really hot topic in coding right now. A debate rages at all times on tech Twitter about whether dynamic...
I should probably mute my oldie station, and here we go.
or static types are superior. So what's the difference? Well, in a dynamically typed language like Python, we can create a new variable, let's call it x, set it equal to 42. On the very next line, we can set it equal to the string 60-9, and
69.
nothing happens. There's no problem with this. We've changed the type of x
They know what
from
they're
an integer
doing.
to a string, and the Python interpreter just doesn't care. Now, most scripting languages, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, PHP, they're all dynamically typed. And one of the big benefits, especially when you're just getting started learning to code, is that you don't need to write as much code. You don't need to specify your types all throughout your code base, which allows you to move faster and kind of focus on the conceptual stuff that you're trying to learn and that you're trying to build, rather than getting too into the weeds with all the technical details and implementations. Now, in a statically typed language, the types of every variable must be known before the code runs, which means you can't just change the type of a variable at runtime. For example, in Go, we can't just create a variable named x, set it equal to 42, and then change it to a string in the very next line. The Go compiler will yell at us and tell us that we're breaking the rules. Go, along with other statically typed languages like TypeScript, C, Rust, they don't allow us to just change the types of variables at runtime. And one of the great things about this is it stops us from writing really easy to write kind of careless bugs into our code, because frankly, even in a dynamic programming language, you basically never want to change the type of a variable. It's super rare. You usually want to change the value within a type set. If you need a new type, you typically just create a new variable. So which is better? Well, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I probably would have said that
my understanding is that there's a fairly balanced trade-off, that dynamically typed languages might be a little less safe in production, a little more error-prone, but you can move faster and write code more quickly and ship things.
But I think it's become a lot less balanced over time. I actually think that, especially nowadays, it's actually not only safer to write within a statically typed language, but it's also easier to ship code quickly. And part of the reason for that is how much better the tooling and the type inference in particular has gotten. Types used to be a fairly verbose thing. So take the C language, for example. You have to write int x equals 42 semicolon if you wanted to declare a new integer. In a language like Go or TypeScript, you write the variable declaration the same way that you normally would, right? X colon equals 5, or let x equal 5. And the TypeScript compiler and the Go compiler, they can infer that this is an integer without you having to explicitly tell it that it's an integer. So writing an integer in Go or TypeScript is just as simple or just as easy as it is in JavaScript or Python. So you might be wondering, well, if static typing's so great, why does anyone write Python? Why are you teaching Python? And why is Python one of the fastest growing programming languages even in 2024? Well, while it is dynamically typed, and that's not my favorite feature of the language, it's still an amazing language, especially for learning foundational coding concepts in. It really reads like plain English, and allows you to focus on what you're trying to learn. Again, conceptually, what is a loop? What is a class? What is object-oriented programming and functional programming? How do these data structures work? Rather than focusing on all of the syntax and type safety and the other stuff that comes along with some of the other languages. But Python isn't just a learning tool. Like I said, it is one of the fastest growing programming languages and remains incredibly popular, especially due to the recent AI boom. And my opinions on static typing are not absolute. While I do prefer static typing and I do prefer to work in Go in production, there are a lot of really smart people smarter than me, that swear by dynamic typing and refuse to integrate TypeScript into their JavaScript code bases.
All right. So, is changing the type of a variable generally a good idea? No. All right, next. Still level 6. All right. Is there a... what is this? Okay, so this is my dashboard. This is courses, backend path, Golang, backend path, TypeScript, training, billing, expense, teams, redeem, gifts, community, YouTube, boss, podcast. New challenge available, potion shop, inventory, code. Alright, whatever. Leaderboards. Lore. They got lore? Let's open this in a new tab. What is this? The March of Time. Lore from the hollowed Boot.Dev archives. Authored by Winston. Edited by Lane. Prologue. Oh crap. You could click into this. He fell. Okay, okay. Maybe I'll read this some other time. The March of Time. The Prologue. Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Chapter 3. Hound of Ill Omen. Chapter 4. Chapter 5, Chapter 6, 7, 8, Moment to Breathe. And they're dated too. So this started last year in January 17th. Alright, that's pretty cool. Lore. There's lore in this game. That's cool. Podcast, YouTube. Boss. What is this? Okay. There's no boss currently, I guess. I don't know. What else? YouTube, podcast, lore, blog, leaderboard. Alright, let's continue. Alright. Python dynamically typed, which means a variable can store any type and... Wait, is this the same crap? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exact same thing. What kind of typing does Python employ? Dynamic. Alright, math with strings, and let's unpause the music. When working with strings, the plus operator performs a concatenation, which is a fancy word that means joining two strings. Alright? Generally speaking, it's better to use string interpolation with f strings over plus concatenation. First _name equals Lane, last _name equals Wagner, full _name equals first name, plus last _name, print full name. So it prints Lane Wagner. Full _name now holds the value of Lane Wagner. Notice the extra space at the end of Lane in the first name variable. The extra space is there to separate the words in the final result. Lane Wagner. Okay. Assignment. We have a second player in our game. We need to tell each other of our players how much health they have left. Alright, so number 1. Edit line 9. Alright. Line 9. To print players 1 health, you have 1200 health using string concatenation and the variables provided. Alright, so print player 1's health, which is here. Alright. Okay. Okay, so they want me to put you have and then okay. Using string concatenation, so oh, okay, so you have okay. So I'm gonna put sentence start. Uh, Sentence under slash start, and then plus. It doesn't want me to create a variable, right? You have um then put player. Oh shit. Player 1 health. So sentence start is you have plus player 1 health 12,000 or 1200, and then plus health. Health is sentence dot end. Okay, so sentence and then end, and then for number 10, so the first one is done. End line 10 needs to print player 2's health. So I'm just gonna copy this and then put player 2 instead. Paste and then put player 2. And then run it. You have 1200 health, you have 1100 health. So number 2 is done, and let's see if I did it right. Yay, I did it right. Okay. New challenge available. Nope, no thank you. Alright, this lesson is multi-variable declaration. Alright. Multi-variable declaration. We can save space when creating many new variables by declaring them on the same line. Sword name, or sword underslash name, sword underslash damage, sword. I'm not gonna say the underslash, you guys could visually see the under, whatever. Sword length, Excalibur, 10, 200. Which is the same as sword underslash name, I just did it. Anyways, Excalibur. Sword damage is 10, sword length is 200. Any number of the variables can be declared on the same line, and variables declared on the same line should be related to one another in some way, so that code remains easy to understand. We call code that's easy to understand clean code. How many variables can be declared on the same line? No limit. What is clean code? Code that is easy for developers to read and understand. And next. Alright, so Boots. You may have already figured this out by now, but below this lesson explanation or in the Boots tab on mobile, there is an adorable bear wizard named Boots. So you guys could go to Boot.Dev on. They have an app, don't they? If not, you go on. I'm pretty sure they have an app. If not, then you still go to Boot.Dev, but on your phone. You could use your tablet and on your laptop. I'm just doing this on my PC so I can stream it. You may have already figured out that it has an adorable bear wizard named Boots. His job is to help you if you get stuck. Here's how. Boots is an AI chat box like ChatGPT that has access to your lesson. When you ask him a question, He already knows the official solution, what you've been asked to do, changes you made to the code. He's been trained not to give you the answer, but instead to use the Socratic method to nudge you to the right direction. What is Socratic method? Whoa, that's bright as fuck. Socratic method, also known as Socratic debate or Socratic dialect, or the method of Lencus, is a form of argumentative dialogue in which an individual probes a conversation partner on a topic with questions and clarifications until the partner pressed to come to the conclusion on their own, or else the reasoning breaks down and they are forced to admit ignorance. Socratic dialogues between characters employing this method feature in many of the works of ancient Greek philosopher Plato. A fictionalized version of his real life teaches Socrates debates various philosophical issues with the partner. In Plato's dialogue, Theaetetus, whatever. So Socrates describes his method as a form of midwifery because it is employed to help his interlocutors develop their understanding in a way analogous to a child developing in the womb. The Socratic method begins with commonly held belief and scrutinizes them by way of questioning to determine their internal consistency and their coherence with other beliefs, and so to bring everyone closer to the truth. In modified forms, it is employed today in a variety of pedagogical, right? Contexts. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Oh, they have a dark mode. Oh, they have a dark mode. I should have used that. My bad. And then put large. Hopefully that saves. Width. Let's go with wide. Oh yeah. If it's the whole damn screen. Okay. Let's press X on this. All right. We left off on here, right? Alright, starting a conversation with Boots before you complete a lesson costs a baked salmon. He's a hungry guy, or if you don't have one, 50% of the XP for the lesson? 50% of your whole XP? Fuck that. Chatting with Boots after you complete a lesson is free, and encouraged for deepening your understanding. Assignment. Fantasy Quest dialogue messages are all jumbled up. Fix it. Okay, so 1. Run the code, don't submit the code. Notice that nothing prints to the console. So run the code. Alright, nothing prints. Check. Ask Boots why nothing is printing. You'll need to pay up. Just do it. Fuck. Alright. Why is well, you could have been anything that you wanted to, and I could tell. Printables. Why is nothing printable? Printing. Right? Why is nothing printing? Question mark. Do you want to ask Boots a question? Feed Boots a big salmon to get help? Sure. Ah, a keen observation, young adventurer. I see your code and you're right. Nothing is printing to the console. If you want your Python program to display output, what specific function do you need to call? Think about how you would tell the program to show you something by printing. So print. Alright, so I did step 2. It says use Boots to figure out what's wrong, then fix the code and submit it. Your code should produce the following output. So you there, adventurer. So I'm gonna put print. Let's see. Nope. There we go. Print quest start. So Q. Let's cheat a bit. Quest start. It's you there, adventurer. All right. How do I do a new line? Or whatever. So let's just concatenate. Alright, the local mine has been taken over by orcs. So that's the second one. Quest middle. Quest middle. And then space, concatenate. The next one. We need your help taking it back. We need your help taking it back. So quest end. And then concatenate. The last one, quest objective. Bring back 8 of your axes as proof of your hard work. So that's quest objective. Alright. It says print the string variables given to you. Don't just retype all the text. Alright, so run. It's not looking exactly the same. So how do I new line it? Space? Nope. Quest. Or do I have to like print and then print? Alright. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that. So, because it's a new line, and then print. And then move quest middle down here by the orcs. And then let's see. Damn it. Quest start middle. There we go. I think I have to do it that way. So let me erase all this. Alright, so print this quest middle. That's the second line. Third line has to. Oh shit! Why did I do that? Nope. Enter. Alright, and then print quest end, and then concatenate the last objective. Quest objective ending parenthesis. There we go. And then let's run it and see how it looks. Yep. You there, adventurer. Let's see. Matches. The local mine has been taken over the orcs. Matches. Third line. We need your help taking it back. Bring back 8 of your. There needs to be a space right after the period. Bring back 8 of your for hard work. Alright, so maybe I could add a space here and then run it. No. Whatever. I believe it's still gonna work if I just leave it like that, but this is obviously an error right there because there's a space right here. So let me submit it, and it works, but technically it shouldn't have worked. It shouldn't have gotten that. So Lane or whoever is in charge of the Python thing, either delete the space right here or add to the lesson how exactly to add a spacing in between the concatenation and quest objective, because the string down here needs to match exactly as it says right here, because we know like you mess something up, it'll screw everything up. Yeah, that spacing right there. Spacing is important. Oh, I forgot to, there we go. Next. Woo! We're doing this, you guys. Almost done with chapter 2. As you progress through Boot.Dev, you might find yourself wanting to take notes. Nope. Video logging. I could just watch my own video over and over again. Or, actually, you guys don't even need to watch me. I shouldn't actually be telling you, but they have their own YouTube right here, where you guys can watch the whole, let's see, playlist, the full courses.
Imagine being a
God damn it, of them doing it. So they have the full course. Let's see, Primogen, Prime does the Git and GitHub full course, Python beginners, the complete course. I forgot her name or her YouTube gamer name, whatever. Yeah, you could look at their full courses right here. You do not have to watch me live, unless you want to. It helps support my channel, I guess. Review concept you have already learned. See more examples of a concept. I'm doing this one right. Review concepts you already learned. See more examples of a concept. See an example of some syntax you already learned. So I'm doing these 3. But I'm not taking notes. Alright. Your spellbook solves these problems. It's a searchable cheat sheet of everything you've learned on Boot.Dev. As you complete lessons... What the hell?
Spellbook. As you progress through Boot.Dev, you might find yourself wanting to take notes, review concepts you already learned, see more examples of a concept, see an example of some syntax you already learned. Your spellbook solves these problems. It's a searchable cheat sheet of everything you've learned on Boot.Dev. As you complete lessons, you'll automatically unlock new pages in your spellbook that can be searched at any time. So, if you know what you're looking for, use your spellbook before chatting with Boots, because using the spellbook costs no items or XP. Assignment. Competitive Fantasy Quest players, Balin's Ballers, have won all their games in the elimination round of the tournament. They're now in the finals.
Alright, so I've been reading this shit the whole time. I'm probably gonna continue doing it, but that's cool. You guys don't even have to read it. You guys yourselves, you guys can listen to it. Now, I suggest you still read it yourselves, because it helps you with your reading comprehension skills. And apparently nowadays that's an issue amongst adults as well as children in public school, whatever, and definitely in college. I can attest to that. In the university level as well, people are dumb, or not dumb but lazy, or both. Dumb and lazy. Anyways, I'm lazy most of the time, but yeah, sometimes I'm dumb. Is it on purpose? Maybe. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's on accident. Anyways, it's a searchable cheat sheet of everything you've learned on Boot.Dev. As you complete the lessons, you'll automatically unlock new. Let me close this shit down. Unlocks pages in your spellbook that can be searched at any time. So if you know what you're looking for, use your spellbook before chatting with Boots, because using the spellbook costs no items or XP. Alright, so the assignment: competitive Fantasy Quest players, Balin's Ballers, have won all their games in the elimination round of the tournament. They're now in the finals. Calculate the average score of their 4 games and store it in the average score variable. The average, or the mean, is calculated by adding all of the numbers and dividing by how many numbers there are. I've already explained that in my other video, but there you go, in text and a lot more shorter. Which means first we need to add up all the scores and then divide by cuatro. Cuatro is 4 in Spanish. Let's use our spellbook to recall the syntax we need. Alright. So first is find and open the spellbook. Right here. Alright. Look at the bottom right of the lesson text. You'll see a toggle to switch from Boots to your spellbook. Alright. Flip the switch to open your spellbook. On mobile is the last tab at the top of the screen. Check. Search for the concept you'll need for this lesson. Maybe Python math or order of operations. So I could search for it here. I could put Python math. Python at math. Alright. Mathematical operators, comments on Python, variables in Python. What is Python? Probably this one. Order of operations right here. Mathematical operations right here. PEMDAS. Or using parentheses to order math operations right here. So this is the one that I'm basically copying, right? You can copy and paste it. I'm just gonna do it for because I'm a slow typer. It says don't touch the above this line. Average score equals. Don't touch below this line. Okay, so just line 8. Let's see. The variable is already there named for us, so we need this part right here. So copy that into here. Alright, so then we'll copy each one of these into here and divide it by 4 and not 3. So we're gonna have, yeah, fuck it, copy everything. There we go. The reason I'm gonna do this is because it's a lot easier to delete shit. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete this and that and this. And then I'm gonna delete this and then I'm space and then plus. Why do that? Plus space. Go here. Delete space. Shift plus space. Shit, I press enter. Back. Space. And then let me use the arrow keys here. Backspace, space, shift, plus. Alright. So there we go. So I'm adding all of them together and then dividing it by 4. So there's 4 variables, literally 4 variables within the math problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dividing that by 4, adding them all together, and I should get the average score of 100. Submit. Yeah. If I don't copy and paste, I'll be here forever. Shit. Next. Character report. One of our interns built a program that prints information about Fantasy Quest characters. It's almost done, but there are still a few bugs. Assignment. Fix the bugs to get the character report working. Alright, so it says run the code to see it fail. Run. Alright. It failed. Okay. Check. It says fix the syntax. I need to enunciate my words. Fix the syntax so that each variable is the data type you'd expect. Alright, so name string. It says don't edit below this line, so just up here. Name has to be a string. Okay. Lopen. Okay. Says most recent calls last. File execute line 16 in module on. Okay, so this one's not working, and line 3 is not working. Windrunner is not defined. Okay. So name should be a string. Okay, that is a string, right? That should be good. Level integer. Level is not an integer, so there we go. Check character / class. Wind. That needs to be a string. So this one is missing quotes. All right, check this. Magic resistance float. Keep it equal to 15, but change it to a float. So magic. So I need to actually type in float and then put it in parentheses. Float 15. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. Account / active boolean. Account active. In order for it to be a boolean, there's no quotes. There we go. Check. Run it, and it works. Float 15. Okay. Character report. Character report. Lopen is at level 25 Windrunner. Okay. They have 15.0 magic resistance. Alright, so now it's a float. Their account is currently active. True. Character report complete. Data types. Name str. Strength level. Integer or intellect. Character class. Strength. Magic resistance. Float. Magic resistance float. Account active boolean. Now, did I do that right? Yeah, okay. So this confused me right here. The magic resistance float is because I'm in character in my head. I'm like the magic resistance of float. Oh, whatever. I'm reading too much into it. Alright. Chapter 3! Alright, let's see how long I've been streaming. I've been streaming for about an hour and 5 minutes. Alright, this is gonna be it for this stream, you guys. I think I'm gonna continue. I love all these. God damn, I love all these. Alright, you guys, that's gonna be it. Ignore stuff like that in the bottom. Like, I should remove that. I can't actually remove that anymore. Yeah, just ignore this. The chat down below, whenever they try to, I don't know, improve your viewers and stuff, go to whatever. Don't click any of their links. Hopefully you guys have some common sense and don't actually try to purchase any of their stuff. You guys could do all that stuff yourself, learn how to do it for free. Alright? Just a little bit of work needed, and then you'll be able to do it yourself. Or, if you want to be lazy, hire someone. But, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to wait until I'm actually monetized. Anyways, subscribe to Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and YouTube. And you guys will be able to find my playlist. Actually, I should show you guys. Let me show you guys. Go to my YouTube channel. And your channel. Go to my playlists. And you'll be able to find it under podcast and reactions. Nope. From gamer to engineer live streams. Alright, so let me pause this real quick. Alright. So right here, I installed Arch Linux. There's a few videos of me installing Arch Linux, and then messing up my own Arch Linux install because I was updating, didn't allow it to completely update, or something went wrong. I had to fix it, um, but it's working perfectly. It's human error. It was my error. That's the only reason why anything goes wrong. It was my fault. This one, I put the Steam Deck here because I'm a gamer, and I figured out how to emulate video games of the past. So I could play any game from the past. For the Steam Deck, I'm using basically anything older than the 360, the PlayStation 4, and uh, GameCube and below. Basically, I'm gonna play on my Steam Deck. Anything else, I'll probably emulate on my PC. But I gotta get rid of my library backlog of Steam. I got a bunch of Steam games that I haven't completed and that I've always wanted to actually play. I'm gonna do my best not to purchase any more video games until I complete my backlog. But yeah, yeah. Learn Python on Boot.Dev. The first one is right here. The second one will be added after I finish streaming here. So you guys can go to my YouTube and find this playlist, or just go to my previous. Let's see, you go home. It's right here. When I stop streaming, it shows up towards the beginning on whatever, all my live streams and stuff. You'll be able to find it. Hopefully I've organized it. This one is live now. This disappears and this will move down here when I'm not actually live streaming. Anyways, that's enough of that, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully you guys are, if you guys are not doing this along with me, other Boot.Dev learners, whatever, because it can be expensive. You guys, again, you guys don't have to purchase. They even say it themselves. You guys want to follow along, you can follow along either my live stream or go straight to their website and watch their videos. You could watch the whole thing and see how it is, although you do retain more knowledge by actually doing coding and figuring it out yourself. But whatever, you're doing more than most people are, even in college, okay? I'm just telling you that right now. If you guys do this, you guys are already a step ahead when it comes to computer science, computer engineering, okay? All right, anything else? Anything else? Subscribe, follow. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.